The Federal Aviation Administration has allowed the 737-9, the currently grounded variant, to return to service after inspections occur, following the necessary approvals coming through after what can only be described as that really lengthy process with the MOM and much more. The re-entry into service will certainly impact United Airlines and Alaska Airlines, the two largest aircraft type operators, and they are eager to return the types safely back into service to limit the difficulties being currently experienced. United Airlines has said that following the final approval and subsequent inspections, it'll return its fleet to scheduled operations progressively starting Sunday, January 28th, 2024, an essential step in their network rebuild, after what will end up being a 3-week grounding that has left not only passengers stranded, operational impact, but also money lost, but flights cancelled too. Meanwhile, Alaska Airlines expects its 737-9s to return to service on Friday, January 26th, 2024, representing another crucial moment for that airline that was obviously front and center following the major incident that really caused all of this. Alaska Airlines being forced to ground its 737-9s actually saw 20% of the total fleet parked. Thus, the airline has really struggled to cope with all the flight cancellations and the negative implications from this because it doesn't have 800 or so other aircraft to be able to cover. While the grounding has always been deemed as the right course of action to maintain high levels of safety, returning the aircraft to service has undoubtedly been a priority to help these airlines and limit long-term losses. Despite the 737-9 being finally cleared to re-enter service with companies, and thus, as I've touched on, easing some of the pressures, analysts warn that the manufacturer is not out of the woods yet. Key airline executives have recently been pretty vocal about their disappointment surrounding Boeing, the quality of the aircraft they're putting out, and more. In an interview with NBC News, Alaska Airlines CEO said his disappointment and frustration has turned to anger, citing that the plane maker is better than what has transpired in the last 3 weeks, and that has been more than evident through historic results. Additionally, in some instances, these customers have expressed also concerns over just how their future fleet will look, with a focus centering on the uncertified 737-10. Scott Kirby, the CEO of United Airlines, has said internally they've been planning for substantial delays now for some time. These delays are expected to exceed 5 years, and thus the company has been making contingency plans with a future that doesn't hold the 737-10 in it. To cope with the losses incurred, United Airlines may very well look elsewhere, and also potentially adjust its order makeup. However, a firm decision on that front will come with time. It's not something they'll make a knee-jerk reaction and or decision to. Away from the clearance to resume flying, the FAA also said that it would halt Boeing's plan to expand production of the MAX as they continue responding and conducting their own investigation. This rejection of production expansion comes as the FAA believes an increase would potentially put the accountability and full compliance part of the investigation at risk. Many believe that this is understandable. Boeing's request, therefore, to expand production will not be approved, and additional production lines for the moment are prohibited. The FAA says the quality control process must be thoroughly reviewed. It will approve Boeing to increase production only once it is satisfied with the outcome from the investigation. As aircraft backlogs continue to grow, this ultimate halt will likely result in further customer delays. You're more than welcome to leave your thoughts down below in the comments, but we should see these 737-9s, permitting anything last minute going wrong, airborne across the weekend, and by next week fully operational. That is a fantastic development, but as I touched on, the saga is far from over and there's still lots more to come. Thanks for your support. I'll see you next time.